bit on my knuckle there. Yes, the Casanovians. Little hack for you boys. If you're not doing so already, I would recommend that you put honey into your coffee. Game changer. Next level. Okay, important live stream, important topic today that I really want you boys to pay attention to. I'm going to be relaying a lot of personal epiphanovas, which hopefully prevent you boys falling into traps that I fell into as a young lad. And hopefully this is going to save you a lot of wasted years, failed attempts, and missed opportunities. So before we get into it, if you're new to the channel, my name's Kristian, and I travel the world coaching high achievers how to build top 1% dating lives. I run an elite private network called the Entourage. All right, the Entourage is a private members club for radically ambitious men who want to build top 1% dating lives, who want to become the most fuckable versions of themselves and unlock a skill set which separates them from 99.9% of men on the planet. So if you're watching this, you're ready to take your games to the next level, you want to connect with other like-minded guys who you can travel the world with, who you can share stories with, just connect with other people who actually get it. I think the whole lone wolf approach is over a decade out of date, right? You don't want to be that guy anymore who's trying to conquer the game solo. It doesn't work. It's a waste of time. It's not sustainable and it's not healthy. At this point in my life, I've invested tens of thousands of dollars into coaching, networks, masterminds, because I understand that for me to acquire skills, I need to surround myself with people who are better than me, who are further ahead than me, who can tell me what I need to know rather than what I want to hear. So yeah, if you're interested in going on multiple dates a week, becoming the most fuckable version of yourself, and just living a life free from bullshit, then there's a link below, first link in description. You can apply to work with me, join my network. You get an entire year of dedicated coaching. I'm not one of those charlatans, those absolute morons who offers like a 1-day coaching package. Like, oh, change your life in a day. Dude, anyone who's offering single day, one-off sessions, and that's all they're offering, you need to be very skeptical about these people. Like, okay, change your life in a day. And what happens 2 weeks later, 4 weeks later, 3 months, 6 months later, 9 months later, a year later? So when you work with me, I get you the results you want to get because I give you an entire year. Does that make sense? So yeah, link below. I'm the best in the world at what I do. I get the best client results in the industry. So you know I'm not talking out my ass. You can go over to my Instagram page at Casanova Dating, where you'll be able to listen to all my testimonials. I change people's lives for a living, so if you want to become a next success story, hit the link below. Let's crush it together. So this live stream is going out to a former version of myself, a former version of Kristian, who was a scared, insecure, lost little boy. I would have many relationships in my early years, like late teens, early 20s, where I lost myself in those relationships. I would find a girl who liked me, and I would stick to this girl like sellotape because I hadn't yet acquired an abundance mentality. Abundance, the way that I define abundance, is not always having, but knowing you can have. And I believe that the best relationships are born from a place of abundance, meaning that when I choose to get into a relationship with a girl now, it's a case of I want her rather than I just want someone. This is the way I used to live my dating life. I used to live a dating life of quiet desperation where I hadn't yet unlocked this abundance mindset. I didn't know how to acquire new leads, right? I didn't know how to bring new women into my life. So I was stuck in scarcity. And that may well be where you're at right now, where you don't know how to get. And this is why you feel needy in relationships. So Now, my mindset, whenever I'm in a relationship with an amazing girl, a girl who 4 years ago I would have thought was impossible for me to get with, right? Now, when I'm in relationship with these girls, my mindset is at any point, I'm prepared for this whole relationship to turn to dust. And the first time in my life, I'm actually at peace with that because it's one thing knowing this on a rational level, but it's another thing comprehending it on an emotional level. Like, you can watch videos like this and you can understand it, but then when you're in that position, you're with that amazing girl and it all goes tits up. That's when the true learning happens. That's when you actually have to navigate the vicissitude of that demise and learn about this stuff through the library of life. The example that I give to my guys is the difference between a self-made millionaire and a guy who gets lucky and wins the lottery. If the self-made millionaire loses all of his money, he doesn't sink into some hyper depressive state because he knows he's acquired the skills to make that money back. But if the lottery winner loses his money, which the majority do, then he does sink into this hyper depressive state because his fortune was based off of blind luck rather than any accumulated skill. And this is what I'm really teaching you through these live streams, even more so when we work together one-on-one. I'm teaching you how to acquire the skills to accumulate abundance, right? Like, once you've got this skill set, once you've unlocked the skill set, the way that I define cold approach, so just meeting women as you go about your everyday life, like, it's the decentralized skill set of the awake 1%. Most men are sleepwalking their way through life. They're swiping their life away on a screen. They're trying to get lucky down the pub on a Saturday night. And they're in the position that I was in, and I think most men today are in, where they simply don't know how to acquire. They just don't know. A guy who I worked with last year in London, I won't use his real name, we'll call him Jeff. He worked with me in London last year, and when we first started working together, he'd just come out of a 10-year long-term relationship. So he'd met his other half down the pub 10 years ago. They actually had children together as well. Anyway, that 10-year relationship came to an end, and when he first got into contact with me, he was at his rock bottom. I remember talking to him on the phone during our first phone call. I was like, what do you want to get out of this experience? He's like, oh, I just want to become more confident, maybe get a few more girls. I'm like, no. What do you actually want? Let's penetrate the bullshit right now. I don't have time for that surface level bullshit. I want to be confident. I want to get... No, that's not why you're here. Tell me why the fuck we're actually here. And after a little bit of digging, it was, I'm lonely. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find anybody else. I'm in a position in my life where I'm 35 years old. I'm re-entering the dating market after a decade hiatus. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm scared. I doubt myself. That's why I'm here. We can work with that, right? Like, that's what I need from my guys. My mantra is freedom from bullshit. I don't give a fuck about the surface level reasons. Oh, I just want to become more confident. It's like, no, that's not why we're here. We're here because you feel lonely, because you feel scared, because you feel as though no matter what you do, you're never going to be enough for anybody. You're terrified of not receiving love from the feminine. I get that. That's how I connect with people. I connect through those raw, authentic emotions, right? Because I've been in that position. I know what it's like to be there, to just hate yourself every single day, to doubt yourself, to experience failure in advance, to reject yourself on behalf of everybody in this world, because at your core, you just don't feel as though you're good enough. But let's forget about all that nonsense. Let's forget about who we've been and let's focus on who we want to become. Anyway, fast forward to today. That guy in question, after working with me over a year ago, he's now in a long-term relationship with a woman who's 7 years younger than him. He's met up with me in multiple cities across Europe. That's how I like to run my network. It's like when you invest your money into me, it's an open invitation, bro. We're going to be traveling the world together. We're going to be crusading around the world. You're going to be gallivanting across the globe with me and my network. And I remember sitting with him, I think in Krakow in Poland, and he just said to me, I can't believe how different my life is now. And the reason why this relationship that he's now in is the best relationship he's ever been in, even better than that 10-year relationship with the woman who he had children with, was because he unlocked the skill set of cold approach, right? He said to me, I feel so secure, I feel so dominant, I feel so at peace in my own masculinity in this relationship because I know if this relationship turns to dust, I'm gonna have no problem meeting other women, bringing other high quality options into my life. And I truly believe that none of us should get into a relationship until we know we can replace that relationship. Now, that might seem cold-hearted or dark to some people, but it just is, right? Like Shakespeare said, nothing is good nor bad. It's the thinking that makes it so. And after being in this process now for the best part of 4 years, I've learned that the world is motivated by self-interest. Everybody just wants the best deal for themselves, right? It just is. It's learning how to have this detached perspective, play the game from a rational level, and understand that, look, we all want the best deal for ourselves. Now, and here's a really interesting thing as well, which I've not heard anybody else speak about. If and when I decide, that verb is important, I decide, please don't do what I used to do, which is fall into relationships, lose myself in relationships. The woman in the relationships that I was in would lose all attraction for me because at the start, maybe I was somewhat attractive, but as that relationship developed, I started to let myself go. I started to slack off. I started to engage in more and more toxic habits because in my mind, it was like, right, job done, girl acquired, mission complete. And it's like, dude, relationships for me are the ultimate personal renaissance exercise. Like I've learned so much about myself in relationships with the feminine, but the way that I'm operating now for the future is when I decide to go all in with one woman, one of my personal, let's call it boundaries, and boundaries is probably the wrong word. One of the things that I want from that relationship is I still want to exercise the skill of cold approach. The reason for this is because I want to continue to exercise freedom. I want to continue to speak my truth and follow my bliss. Me being able to continue to cold approach girls when I'm in a relationship allows me to bring my best self to that relationship. Because something that you boys need to understand is girls are never out of the game, right? Girls are never out of the game. So even when I'm in a relationship with a girl, she's still going to be getting DM'd on Instagram. She's still going to be getting approached on the street. She's still going to be getting approached at the club. And this gives her a sense of desirability. She knows that her sexual market value is still high. That makes her feel good. But when most guys are in relationships with girls, they can't DM other girls. They can't approach girls at clubs. They can't approach girls on the street. That would most likely be declared as emotional cheating. But for me, in order to give my best self to the woman I'm in a relationship with, I need to continue to do the thing that brings me joy and peace and excitement. And look, this is the important thing. When I'm committed to a girl, I'm committed to her, right? I'm all in with this girl. I'm not continuing to cold approach because I want to sleep with these women. I'm doing it because it's an extension of who I am as a person. It's like going to the gym or sprinting or swimming or drawing or creating videos, whatever it is. And also, because this is my job, because this is my skill set, the thing that I teach, I need to keep my skills sharp, right? So and this is all consensual as well. I will lay it out very clearly from the start. Listen, if you want to get into a relationship with me, here's how it's going to be, right? I want to continue to be able to cold approach, to speak with attractive women, not because I want to sleep with them, but because this nourishes my soul as a man. I love women. Like, I love women with all of my heart. And it's like, whenever I've been in relationships, some of my most recent relationships, now that I actually know what I'm doing, when I would take girls out for drinks or for dinners, whatever it was, they always got so turned on when I would flirt with other women in front of them, right? Women want what other women want, and no woman wants to be in a relationship with a guy who can't get other girls. It doesn't mean he's going to be going out there slinging his dick around and sleeping with every girl who blinks at him. No, it just means that he knows he can have, and she knows he can have as well. So what that does is it creates almost a sense of competition anxiety in the girl. It keeps her on her toes because she knows that she's with a winner here. She's with a guy who other women desire, and she knows in her mind at any point she could lose this guy because I don't like to use the word high value. I think it's cringe as shit, but let's just use it. This girl knows that the guy who she's with is so high value that he's got no problem bringing new people into his life, but that's not what I want. Right? I think all of this red pill garbage where you've got these, it actually makes me ill to say these labels. You've got these high value, or pretending to be, these high value men who are masquerading as these hyper masculine characters who are telling young men, you need to have multiple relationships with multiple women, have multiple children with multiple women. And I'm just listening to this, like, wow, the things that people do to sell a fucking course. I believe any self-respecting man should be able to go all in with one woman. I think most guys want to have these multiple relationships because it's easier to have shallow relationships where you get the sex, but you don't have to go deep, compared to going all in with one woman and facing the possibility that that relationship could blow up in your face. I think that a true mark of a true masculine warrior is to be able to say to the girl, listen, I don't just want someone, I want you, right? And the important thing is that you're not a chump in that relationship. You're laying out your terms and conditions, the things that you want and don't want in this relationship. If you're anything like me, then I need to continue to exercise my truth, my freedom from bullshit mentality. So when I'm in relationships with a woman, I can still go out, I can approach women, I can flirt with women, because when I return back to my woman, she's almost soaking up all of this positive, nourishing, feminine energy. And it's like, that relationship is better because, like, I don't know, I think most guys in relationships, they want this, but they can't actually declare it. So they'll probably be like texting other girls secretly on the side, or when they go out on a lad's trip away to Paris, maybe they'll hook up with some random girl, but they won't tell their woman about it. Like, look, if you want to go down the open relationship, whatever route you want to go down in relationships, it's having the communication. It's having the emotional bravery to just be able to express it. Like, look, this is what I want. Take it or leave it. So I think that, and this is just advice, right? I'm a 27-year-old kid. I probably know nothing. I would be really curious to hear what you boys think in the comments as well. If you agree with this, if you disagree with this, I really love reading your comments. Just make sure you post a good comment though. Like, just random shitty comments. Like, someone commented yesterday, lol, BS. It's like, dude, that achieved nothing. Like, use the comments strategically so we can all grow together, because a rising tide lifts all the boats. If you're just going to comment some nonsense like heart lol or lol BS, it's like, why are you wasting your life on a YouTube comment? Go outside, fucking do something with your life. But for me, I don't think men should get into relationships until they've accumulated an abundance mindset, yeah, knowing that they can actually have and attract other gobsmackingly gorgeous girls. So let's finish this live stream off with how I've actually got to this place. Like how now, at 27 years old, I'm in the best place I've ever been. I'm in the best place financially, spiritually, emotionally, physically, everything, Ali. I'm in the best place that I've ever been. It's not happened by luck, it's happened by design. 4 years ago, I'm now living the life that 4 years ago I would have thought was impossible for somebody like me, right? 4 years ago, I was living in a grotty apartment in central Leeds. I had £24.82 of universal credit in my bank. I was a porn addict. I had erectile dysfunction. I would wake up most days hating myself and hating the life that I was living. I was working a dead-end job for minimum wage, and my flat was infested by cockroaches. That's like the lowest of the low. I was a complete loser, like loser. And the beautiful thing about this channel is you can go back to the oldest videos on this channel and you can see the person that I used to be 4 years ago. It's all there. It's all documented. Evidence has got the loudest voice. Now the place that I'm in, I've never been in a better place. And I often speak to my guys in the Entourage. We always say to each other, man, where are we all going to be in 10 years' time? It's like in 10 years' time, all of the guys who are in the Entourage right now, in a decade, we're going to have left the entire world behind. Like the discussions that we have in that group every single day, we have our group coaching calls every single week. We have secret meetups all across the world where our guys can connect with each other in person. It's like nobody else can compete with what I've built, and it's only getting better. So if you're listening to this live stream now, dude, apply to join us. Like right now is the most affordable it's ever going to be. As the value increases, the price will increase. So look, if you're enjoying these live streams, then stop pissing about. Stop being another static spectator on the sidelines. Like nothing changes if nothing changes, and you don't know what you don't know. So hit the link below, apply to join us. The way that I've accumulated this abundance mentality, first of all, is by going all in with cold approach. Like there's no getting around it. You need to master this skill set. I believe anyway. I believe every self-respecting man should be able to go over to women who he finds attractive without needing 10 pints of lager down him first. I believe for the whole dating ritual to begin, someone needs to approach. I think it should be the man. I think it should be done in person. There's something about a man who can just move through life knowing that at any moment he can approach any girl that he wants, whilst the rest of the guys are ruminating in their own egoic self-absorption, thinking, oh, she's nice, she's fit, she's sexy. The true Renaissance warrior, the guy who's mastered this skill set, this decentralized skill set of the awake 1%, he can just penetrate through all the bullshit and go over to that girl, and it's like, he's fine either way, right? It's like, you're simply putting invitations out there into the world. It's like, hey, you look amazing. I'd love to invite you into my reality. If you don't resonate with me, then that's cool. I'm going anyway, right? It's like there's a different energy. There's a different motorbike. There's a different energy. There's a different essence to a guy who's put himself through the social fire and who's unlocked this skill set of cold approach. I recommend to everybody listening to this that you have a 30-day obsession period. That's the best way to become proficient fast, right? You can do it in a month, right? It takes about 100 cold approaches to start to develop proficiency. So if you can aim over these next 30 days to do 30 direct cold approaches every single week for the next 4 weeks, by the end of these 4 weeks, you will have done 120 direct cold approaches. It's almost impossible not to have developed some level of proficiency after 120 cold approaches, right? So I want everybody to go out there, try and put this stuff into practice, do it on your own. And if you're still struggling, you're not seeing progress, consider applying to work with me. Or even if you are in the game, you've got skin in the game, even if your life is pretty good right now, I want to take you from good to outstanding, right? Like, join the fucking Entourage. Come and connect with us. Like, this is what this is about. It's the #1 network on the planet for guys who want to master this skill set, become the most fuckable version of themselves, live a life free from bullshit, and most importantly, connect with other like-minded action takers. So yeah, hit that link below, apply to join. I was looking forward to speaking with you. Mastering this skill set, like mastering the skill set of cold approach, it's given me everything that I've ever wanted. It's like, it's not even, it goes deeper than day game. Like I always say, it's a catalyst for the rest of your life. By doing cold approach for the past 4 years, it's like I've unlocked a side of life I never thought was even there. It's like I've become more confident. I've become more of a risk taker. I've become more audacious. I've developed this fuck it mentality where whenever I do something, I'm like, yeah, fuck it. I've been part of $10,000 coaching mastermind groups. I've solo traveled to over 30 countries. I quit my job to pursue my coaching full time. I would have never done any of this if it hadn't have been for cold approach, right? Just that ability to declare your desire for a woman in a non-needy way, to go after what you want rather than settling for what you think you can get, to not be constrained by the shackles of society, not to dance the music of the masses, but to sing to your own symphony, to not die with your music still inside of you, to not be another mind-dead moron who sleepwalks his way through life and wakes up when his best years are behind him. It's like, life is for living. Life is for now. So let's live fast while we actually have this opportunity. We're only young once, right? So I owe everything to this process of cold approach. I'm now in a position where I can enter relationships operating from a place of wholeness rather from a place of lack. I'm never going to be needy in my life again, because even if I do meet that quote unquote girl of my dreams, I know there's always new people out there. She's just a girl. I'm just a guy. None of us are that special. Everything is forgettable. One day in 100 years, none of this is going to matter. It's all going to be space dust and ashes. And at any point, I am fully prepared for this relationship to turn to dust, and that's okay. Let's just enjoy the moment. Let's just enjoy each other's company. Let's not focus on making long-term decisions on short-term feelings, which I used to do in the past. Like I'd be like sleeping with a girl for a week, and because I was such a needy, sniveling mess, I'd be like, I love you so much. I would actually, when I was 18, 19, my first relationship, we were actually scheduled to get engaged. Like, I'd met her parents. This was in the UK. We met at university. She was a girl I lost my virginity to. She was my first everything. And dude, we were together about 18 months. And about 6 months into that relationship, we were talking about getting engaged, getting married, having children together. I'm so grateful that God protected me there. Rejection is God's protection. She decided to end it with me because I was too much of a needy fuck. And I'm like, imagine if I'd have actually followed through with that plan. Imagine if I was just sat in, like, I don't know, Surrey in the UK with like 2 screaming children crawling around me. Like, none of this would ever have been built because I made a long-term decision on a short-term feeling. So look, men, listen, my advice to you, and this is just advice, so do what you want with it. I might know nothing. Do not get into a relationship until you've unlocked the abundance mindset, knowing that you can have, because you're going to have more fulfilling relationships. Your woman's going to respect you more. You're not going to be needy anymore. You're not going to push her away. You're not going to lose yourself in that relationship, because you know at any moment you can go outside, you can talk to new people, and life is all fine and dandy. So yeah, I actually think this has been one of my most powerful live streams. I've really felt tapped in on this one. It might be the coffee mixed with honey, but I think this has been a really I think these live streams I think they just keep getting better. I feel really tapped in when I'm speaking to you boys. So yeah, if you've enjoyed this one, then do drop the live stream a like. It tells me that you're enjoying it. It tells me that you get a lot of value from the live stream. So drop the live stream a like. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you resonate with me and you want to learn from me deeper, then you've got a few options. You can apply to join my private network, get mentored by me personally for an entire year of dedicated coaching. Again, I'm the best in the world at what I do. You can go over to my Instagram page at Casanova Dating. All my testimonials are there. Evidence has got the loudest voice. I'm not bullshitting with people. It's like I actually am the person who I say I am. So yeah, go over to the Instagram page at Casanova Dating. You can see all the testimonials, and if you want to access my free online courses, then the links for those are below as well. So I've got an entire cold approach course which teaches you how even the most introverted of guys can get started and get results from daytime cold approach. I think that'll be really useful to you. I've also got my most fuckable man course as well, which teaches you step by step how I went from who I was to who I am today, right? So there's amazing modules in there. We've got more module on mindset mastery, building an international lifestyle. All of my courses are free, right? Most charlatans in this industry, it's like, oh, $997 for my bullshit course. It's like, dude, my courses are better than all of these paid bullshit courses out there. So they're all free. So go gobble them up, enjoy them. And yeah, when you're ready to take that next step, apply to work with us, apply to work, join the Entourage, and life will be cool, man. But anyway, listen, I've enjoyed this. Hope you boys have enjoyed it as well. I'll speak with you again tomorrow. New YouTube video got released yesterday, so you can go onto my channel and watch that. And yeah, I'm just sending optimism your way. I wish you outrageous success with everything that you do. Go out there, dominate reality. Don't die with your music still inside of you. Love yous. Bye.